Jaclyn Schildkraut is Executive Director of the Regional Gun Violence Research Consortium at the Rockefeller Institute of Government, and she joins us now from New York. Jaclyn, another school shooting. This keeps on happening. Is this almost a prescribed sort of pattern taking place? What's your take on it?
You know, it's really tragic. You know, we've been seeing more events happening in this country. So last month, we saw 5 mass shootings, public mass shootings happen in a 2-week span. And of course, now with schools back in session for the new school year, certainly these types of events happening in those spaces was always going to be a concern.
Now, what do we know about this shooting? There was a purported manifesto which is attached on social media, which was taken down before it could be made public.
Yes, the manifesto has been shared. I am in possession of a copy, but unfortunately it is not written in English, so it's going to take some time to try and figure out what exactly is in it. But what we do see based on the videos that have been circulated on social media is that there was, much like many other mass public shootings that occur in our country, considerable thought and planning that went into this event.
Now, the question one always gets asked, I suppose, is why does it happen in the US with such alarming frequency when other heavily armed countries, heavily armed populations, such as, let's say, Switzerland, it's unheard of?
You know, I wish I had the answer to that question, because I think if I knew, I'd have a better capability of trying to help stop it at least a lot quicker. You know, unfortunately, it is something that is very prescribed in our culture, and we tend to be a very reactive society. So we respond after a shooting has happened, but we are less proactive in terms of trying to prevent it from happening in the first place. And that's really where our focus needs to shift.
Well, exactly, because then there'll be calls for, of course, new rounds of gun control, which go unheeded largely. And then there'll be also the usual calls for greater security at churches and in schools as well.
Right. And the reality is that there's only so much fortressing that you can do to schools and churches, right? I mean, this was an individual who, by all accounts, never even entered the building and still was able to cause so much damage. And so, you know, what we really want to do is figure out a way to stop them before they pick up a gun, before they can fire that first shot.
Well, and Jaclyn, the other thing is, of course, when these things happen, you see the US media going, wall-to-wall coverage ensues. Now, the thing is, does violence then beget violence?
Absolutely. We know that these are individuals who often are fame-seeking. They're looking for notoriety and attention. And what happens is we get this wall-to-wall media coverage, which is effectively rewarding them for doing exactly what they did. We've given them exactly what they wanted, which was attention. This individual's name, which I'm not going to say, is now known all across our country when they were likely a nobody before this happened. At the same time, it's also signaling to other would-be perpetrators who are thinking about doing this, well, if I go and do the same thing, I'm also going to be made famous.
The trouble is you can't not report it.
That's accurate, you know, but there's different ways that we could be reporting it. So, for instance, we could be saying, or journalists could say, today there was a 23-year-old male who committed the shooting. We don't have to attach that individual's name or identity to the shooting. That's what they want. They want their name known. They want their identity known. When you deny them that by using a no notoriety protocol, you're taking away that incentive for them.
Jaclyn, thank you so much for your time. Jaclyn Schildkraut, there, Executive Director at the Regional Gun Violence Research Consortium at the Rockefeller Institute of Government.
Thank you.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.